Welcome to Empowered and Unstoppable, the show where high-achieving women crush self-doubt, ditch imposter syndrome, and step boldly into their greatness. I'm your host, Megan Bonnell, and together we'll unlock the mindset, strategies, and confidence you need to create unstoppable success on your terms. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Empowered and Unstoppable podcast, the show where high-powered women get real about what it takes to build a life and business that turns heads and changes lives. I'm your host, Megan Bonnell, life coach, speaker, and mom who does it all. And each week here, we dive into the raw and the real and the radically empowering, because you weren't meant to burn out, my friends. You were meant to step into your full power and rise. So let's go. Today's episode is going to be a masterclass in resilience and stepping into your true power, because I have with me the incredible Keri Murphy. She's the CEO and founder of Inspired Living, a company that teaches entrepreneurs how to be seen, be known, and be paid for their brilliance, particularly through the power of video. She's a sought-after international speaker, a mentor to countless entrepreneurs, and a former television veteran who's been on MTV, E!, Fox, NBC, you name it. Her signature IT Factor training has been featured on CNN, ABC, CBS, and so much more. And her company was even named as one of the fastest growing companies in America. But what I love most about Keri is how she's taken her own stories of rejection and heartbreak and even bankruptcy and turned them into a seven-figure business and a mission that helps women shine on camera and in life. Overall, her story, her work, her heart, absolutely magnetic. So, Keri, thank you so much for joining us
What a
today.
beautiful introduction. Thank you, Megan. It's a real honor to be here. I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Before we dive into all the juicy stuff, I always ask my guests this question because it's a peek into their life and it's a little bit of fun. So, what's one thing you do behind the scenes, quirky, weird, or just very human, that your audience or followers might never guess about you?
Ooh. I play piano by ear.
What?
Yeah, I'll sit and I'll just play. I don't get to do it as much as I want to, even
Yeah.
though I have a piano in my living room. But it has always been kind of my solace when I am feeling like I just need to express myself. I'll just sit down and play. I come from a very musical family. So that's something you may not know about me.
I love that. I love that. Mine is guitar. I love
Okay.
playing the guitar, sitting around a fire, you know, having some music,
Strumming the
singing some
guitar. I
songs.
would
Yep,
love to
singing
play
some.
guitar. I think that
So
seems
fun.
like it would be really fun.
It's very fun and very portable, which is
Yes.
very convenient.
Can't take my piano in the backpack,
No.
right? Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I'm sure you're strong, but that's a
Yeah.
whole nother level
Yeah,
of
that's a
strength
whole
there.
nother level of strength there.
Okay, well, let's get into some juicy stuff. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
I think something that all women can really relate to is the sting of rejection.
Mm.
And so many women see that rejection as a stop sign, right? As a reason to give up, turn around, lose their course. You grew up in entertainment and I'm sure faced a ton of rejection, and yet you have been able to reframe it into resilience, if you will. So,
Mhm.
can you share with us a little bit about your relationship with rejection and how you did that reframing?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to start by saying, let's just face it, like rejection doesn't feel good. None of
No,
us want to be rejected
ever.
ever. And I think, especially in the work that I get to do, Megan, with these female entrepreneurs that I'm encouraging them to be visible, it is honestly one of the biggest fears is
I'm
what
sure.
if, right? What if people don't like me? What if I fail? What if, what if? And so I'm so grateful that I have fallen forward so many times, that I have been told no 1,000 times, because what you learn is that other people's opinions really don't have anything to do with you.
Yes.
And it is so hard. It's so easy for me to say that, right? Like, oh, but I think what happens over time is that someone rejects you and then you put yourself out there again. And then you're like, oh, I had a win, or I helped someone, or I got the job. And then you get rejected again. And then as you continue to go through, like for me, honestly, Megan, throughout my life, hundreds of no's, hundreds of
I'm
no's.
sure.
And it was always like I always share, I was told I was too overweight my entire life. Like if you lost 10 pounds, you'd be successful. My whole life. Like I remember being 11, 12, 13, my adolescence, teenager, 20s. And it was always the thing. And I was like, Mother Mary, and then it was like when I finally took my career and my dreams and my talent into my own hands. And I think that's a huge part of it, Megan, is not letting someone validate our worthiness,
Yes.
our dreams, our vision, and really taking ownership of it. And I will say that is what the rejection did for me, is that it created a really strong armor that allowed me to forge ahead. And it was early on in my life, right? It was in my teens and my adolescence. And it's so vulnerable. I remember crying to my mom so many times. And not just being rejected by entertainment, being rejected by a friend group or being
Hmm.
rejected by a job I really wanted or the dream. Like, I really thought I wanted this. And I think one of the greatest things I've learned, I don't know if you're a woman of faith or not, but I always feel like rejection is protection. I really feel that. Like when I look back at the dots behind me, I'm like, I am so grateful I didn't get the QVC job that would have moved me to Pennsylvania in the freaking freezing, working from 1 to 7 a.m. in the morning. Like, I'm
Yes.
so grateful. But at the time, I was so heartbroken.
Devastated, I'm sure.
I was so devastated. And this
Yeah.
was right after I filed bankruptcy. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like one of 25 applicants, 2,500, excuse me, that they flew out to the set. And I'm just sharing this because sometimes we think what we want is really what we want when in all reality it's not meant for us. So I've
Yes.
learned to like let go. If something's not meant for me, even if I think I really want it, I just trust that it's not meant for me.
I love that. Absolutely. And it's so easy to look back and
It's
see,
so
and it all
easy. Yeah.
makes sense,
Yeah.
obviously. But I think in the moment, even remembering someday that I'm going to look back and be grateful that this didn't work out because there's something else for me. There's
Yeah.
something else that I am meant to do, and this wasn't it. And
Yeah.
like you said, that not allowing your validation of yourself to be tied to a specific success
Yeah.
in any way.
Yeah,
I
or
love
other
that.
people's opinions, or the trolls out there. I mean, there's so many unhappy people that they just love to say crap and be mean. And I'm like, you can't let that affect who you're meant to be in the world, your vision,
No.
who you want to serve. And I always, encourage the women like, don't give your power away to people who don't deserve it. And I feel like again, that rejection or the trolls or the judgment, it keeps so many people from showing up. I really live by this phrase right now because even in my life, there are things I really want that I don't have yet. And I'm like, okay, what is meant for you will come for you. What is
Ooh,
meant for you will come for you. I really believe that. And it's kind of my mantra right now. Like, look,
I
when
love
when
that.
it's ready, when you're ready, it'll come.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is meant for you will come for you.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. So you kind of mentioned this a little bit, but something that definitely comes along, I think, with rejection, or also can just surprise you even without being rejected, is that feeling of not being enough.
Mm.
And I have found that pervasive with friends, with clients for sure, regardless of their incredible success. How do you personally handle it when that little sneaky voice comes up and says, "You're not enough"?
I know this is going to sound crazy. I will say that voice tells me I'm not ready, or I feel like an envy will come in when I'm looking at something.
Mhm.
But maybe it is because I've gone through so much. I don't struggle with I'm not enough as much as like, why aren't I there yet? I don't know
Okay,
if that makes any sense. So, and
absolutely.
I'm not saying I've never felt that, but I feel like I'm in a phase in my life, and I'm in a faith in my life where I'm like, God has made me exactly enough. But it is the constant looking ahead, asking myself, well, why haven't I achieved that yet? Why aren't I speaking on that stage? Why haven't I written the bestseller book yet? And that self-talk of I should be somewhere else
Yes.
is probably what I struggle with, honestly, more than I'm not enough. Because
Yeah.
I know this, I don't want this to sound egotistic or that I don't believe that I can't grow or that I can't get better. Because trust me, when growing my business, I have those inner thoughts all the time. But I'm always like, why aren't I somewhere else? And I
Yeah.
feel my really good friend Tracy Litt, she is really into embodiment and helping people like really understand that there is no there. enough is there's no such thing. Like you are, like you
Yes.
are right now is exactly here. There is no there. I'm like, there is no there. And again, we're getting kind of deep here, but um, yeah, I think that's where I am right now is just really appreciating the here and now and getting out of the, well, why aren't I somewhere else?
I love that. And that is kind of deep, a little juicy. There is no there,
There is no there
but it's true. Here,
here.
that is what there is.
But as entrepreneurs and visionaries and
That's
go-getters,
hard.
Megan, don't we always think about the next
Always.
thing?
All
And oh, wait,
constantly.
it's like, oh, when I make $1 million, then you make $1 million and you're like, oh my gosh, now I have more cash flow, more team, more
Yes.
profits. And you're like,
Yes.
oh, but wait, when I get this thing, or when I get the man, or when I get the home or the thing. And I feel like, gosh, Keri, just, we both have similar age children too. It's just be here. Like there
Yes.
is no there. And then you
No.
get there and you're like, you wish you were somewhere else.
So
So
exactly.
I'm really working
Always.
on that. I am.
Yes.
I'm working on that.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I love that. I love it. So, along with that idea of the redirection of rejection, like going back to that a little bit,
Yeah.
and maybe those sticky, doubtful voices, whatever they happen to say, whether it's I'm not enough or why haven't I gotten that yet or why am I not there yet? I think so valuable and imperative to step fully into our own power. There's something else that can really rock us to the core from doing that. And that's the feeling of being broken, right? So maybe there's a massive roadblock, maybe there's some sort of big struggle. And I think you know a little bit about this. From all that I know about you, you have been open about losing completely a business, right? Going bankrupt, I think 2008, is that right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
that
End of
recession.
2008. Mhm.
Yeah. And how that completely changed your path. So, what is that moment or that pivotal point that you decided, you know what? I am taking my future into my own hands. What allowed you to not use that as a stop sign and really shift into your full power?
Yeah, I got to just go back to that time because when you talk about it, even though it was so long ago, those things where you talk about it and you're like, oh my gosh, like instant muscle memory.
Yes,
And like
yes,
you go transported right back in
yes,
there. And I just want to go back because someone is listening or watching right now who feels broken
yes.
and or who is struggling with a huge financial hardship. And I just want to say that it's it's for you. Like you're going to become a different person on the other side of this if you allow yourself to to feel the pain and to look at what you need to get back up. And when I filed bankruptcy back in 2008, I'm not a plan B'er. I've never had a plan B in my life. I just go all in on something. And so I bought a talent agency I went through as a little girl at 27 with my mom and grew it to almost $1 million. And then the recession hit, and I was in my early 30s. I had no idea what a mentor or a coach was. Like, I'm just like, I can do it all on my own. I got this. And I remember like April of 2008. I remember it vividly because I was struggling so much with making payroll and overhead, and I was getting all these TV opportunities. Like I got my first national hosting job on the Golf Channel. I was an MTV maid coach. And I was like, okay, and I really encourage someone who's feeling this way right now to look for the window. And what I mean by that is when a door shuts, what do? We go try to open the door,
Yeah,
right? Like we're
yeah.
freaking banging on
Banging
the
on it.
door,
Yes,
open, open, open.
yes.
And I'm like, but wait, like the window right here is like, come on over. I got
Wide
the window.
open.
And so it's like really shifting perspective. And for me, by the way, I had to short sold my home. I was divorced 3 years prior to that. I got divorced early in my life. I moved out to LA with nothing but my car, and I had no idea what was going to happen next. But I did, again, being a woman of faith, I knew this wasn't going to be my forever. I knew that I had a talent and that I could recreate. I just had no idea what it looked like.
Right.
And for me, it was like, keep focusing on the window. Like, what is opening? Blame, shame, guilt, the baggage that we carry from
Yes.
brokenness keeps us broken.
Yes.
And you have to be willing to heal that. And I will say, I mean, call it spirit led, but the first 2 years I moved out to LA, I dived into personal development. I found like Landmark, LifeSpring. I found a spiritual coach and healer. Like all unbeknownst to me, I had no like intention, but I kept looking for the window and I kept walking towards it. And I can honestly say, looking back, that that willingness to explore and to cry and to grow allowed me to create inspired living and what it is today. So it's sometimes we try so hard to block the feelings and to not work through them. And I will say it was through working through them and looking at the silver lining or what was opening that allowed me to continue to move through it.
I
But
love
man,
it.
it hurt so bad. I was a wreck. Growing up, I've always been not just half full, glass half full, but like overfloweth. And I think that is one of my greatest gifts is that I am so optimistic, and it's also my Achilles heel because sometimes you don't make pivots quick enough.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
honestly, it's still the thing I probably struggle with the most. I'm like, oh, it's gonna get better. Oh, well, you're gonna be fine. Oh, this is just a moment. And then you're like, oh shit, it's not. Like,
it's not.
and I will say, looking back too at that, advice I have for someone is don't wait until it's too late to ask for help. I mean,
Ah.
looking back, it wasn't until I was like, what am I going to do? That I started asking and seeking out mentors for the agency and trying to find someone to buy it or trying someone to partner with me. And I would say that if we can be a little bit more strategic and when we start wondering, is this going downhill or am I doing the right things? Seek out therapists, seek out mentors, coaches, people to help you. That has been huge in my life now because I know I have a blind spot. I don't look at the rearview mirror, right? Or I'm
I
not
love it.
looking at like there's a crash ahead. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
no, it's sunshine and lollipops ahead,
we're good. Rainbows and roses.
rainbows and roses.
Absolutely. I love that. And I think so many people feel like asking for help,
Is
or
weakness.
especially women, seeking out a therapist, a coach, a mentor, or whatnot, almost like it's a luxury. And it,
Mm.
I think it isn't. We
I
all
I
have
would say it
those
is not.
blind spots, right? And we all can do things to be better and to step more into what feels right and amazing to us. And we can't do it alone. And that
No.
doesn't make you broken in
Yeah,
any way,
I
shape,
think
or form.
also for women especially, it's it's when I have my 10-year-old and my husband's like trying to show me, I don't know how to use our new cooktop or something. And I'm like, I've got it. Like, stop telling me. Like, I can figure it out.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just trying to help you. He's like, no wonder why our daughter is so strong-headed. And like, there is a part of us, isn't it, that's just like, I got this.
Yep.
I think it really is in the female DNA of men have it in a different way, but it's like,
Yes.
I've got this. I don't need to ask for help. I am the pillar, right?
Yes.
Everyone comes to me for answers and questions, and I'm always helping people. And
Yes.
so when we feel like, oh, crike, like I'm in a place where I need help, then it's oh well you're not strong or
Yeah,
oh
you're
like
weak.
you're being really weak
Mhm.
right now or and
Mhm.
I will tell you especially in the landscape in which I teach, which is video and video marketing, the what we connect with the deepest is the vulnerability,
Oh, yeah.
is the reaching out, is sharing the journey. It's not the bright shiny object that we connect with the most. And so I think as women it's just saying, you know what, I'm struggling here. And I'm so grateful I have a circle of friends that when I am struggling, I call. I don't wait anymore. I'm not trying to figure it out on my own. I'm
I
like,
love
hey,
it.
hey
Yeah.
lady, like 911 over here. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And, I think that there is a lot of power and a lot of strength in being willing to be vulnerable. And you get what you need and you get where you need to go faster,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
By just asking for help and getting that support.
And it's still
Absolutely.
hard. It's still hard. And people are like, "Oh, I don't want to cry on social or I don't want to share, the skeletons in the closet." I'm like, "No one's asking you to do that."
No.
But however, like when you share your hardships, when you share your challenges, and it's not just, it's the bankruptcy, it's divorce, it's all the things, right? We all
Yep.
have our story that makes us human. But
Yep.
if you're not sharing those, then there's no like draw to you. Like
Right.
I might
Yes.
be impressed by you, but I don't feel connected to you. And
Yes.
in the trust recession that we're in right now, I feel like it's really the vulnerability that is creating that more than any accolade.
You're listening to another episode of Empowered and Unstoppable. We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors. Are you ready to take your success to the next level? Visit www.meganbonnellcoaching.com. So you kind of touched on this a little bit, but I think that we as women have a hard time sometimes stepping out, taking a risk, being seen, probably with the fear of failure, right? And really allowing ourselves to do what we want to do and be our full selves. And I love that your company is really all about helping women to be seen, right? And to be known. Why do you think it is that so many, even high achieving women, struggle to step out from behind that curtain and show that humanness and really be them?
I think at the end of the day, our 5-year-old just really wants to be liked.
Yeah.
I think that it's not even the failure. I think that's a part of it. I think it's the judgment. It's
Yes.
almost the tall poppy syndrome. Like, who am I
Yes.
to take up space? Who am I to be an expert? And it's at every single event I read Marianne Williams, Who Am I Not
Ooh.
to Be? At every event,
Ooh.
because the words, like, you playing small does not serve the world, and you shrinking, right, does nothing. It's
Yeah.
just, it takes me back to who we're meant to be. And I think
Yes.
women are really, they're afraid of judgment, but they're also afraid of their greatness. And they're afraid of maybe the judgment that comes with being and taking up room. Um, and again, when we show up, when we take up space, we're allowing a woman in a third world country to stand up and take space. When, you look at the research, Megan, on when women are successful, how that changes cultures, villages, families, legacies.
Yes.
It's really incredible. And so it's really the heart of what I do at Inspired Living. It's not just about teaching women how to be on camera, but really empowering women to create massive change. And I really believe too, as airy fairy as it seems, that the world will not change until more women create wealth, create wealth.
And
And
that is why we're here.
that is why we're here. That is
Yes.
why we're here. But we got to get out of poverty thinking. And
Yeah.
most women are stuck in poverty thinking. So
Yeah.
I think that's
Well,
part of it.
I love very applicable tips or tools and giving those to my audience. So, Keri, if you could give them what's one simple way, maybe you tell this tell this to the women that you work with, but what is one simple way that they can start showing up authentically without
Mhm.
waiting to be ready or
Yeah.
feeling like they are, an expert that deserves to be there? What's one thing that they could do?
So, the number one thing I would encourage someone to do is to think about who they want to serve. Oftentimes, when people come into our ecosystem at Inspired Living, they're really thinking about who they are, which is totally normal, right? The
Yeah.
ego is there to protect us, that fight or flight. And so, when we press record, we automatically go in and think about, what do I look like? What do I sound like? I'm to this, I'm to that. My greatest piece of advice is when you are ready, which ready is a decision, it's not a destination. I say that all the time. Like, you don't show up ready one day, you just decide that you are.
Right.
But to really think about one person. It's just one person. Like, who is one person?
Hmm.
Think about your ideal client. Think about your sister. Think about your best friend. Think about the conversations you have with clients every single day, or people that reach out to you asking for your advice. And when you're looking through the lens, notice I did not say at the lens. When you're looking through the lens, I want you to see her or him. I want you
Mhm.
to feel her, because video is about emotional connection. It's not about your words. So if you can stop thinking about yourself and you start thinking about, who can I show up and help today? One person. It's just one person. And you talk to that person. Here's two amazing things that happen. You stop worrying about what you look like and what you sound like. And the nerves
Yes.
that are taking your breath up to your earlobes and keeping you, really frigid, starts
Yeah.
to really just wash away. And you
Love it.
feel a sense of embodiment. Like, you start feeling like, wait, my voice isn't up here and I'm not talking really fast. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you really get into that heart chakra. And so That is the number one thing we work with our clients on is shifting their approach to being visible as it's about you, me, to it's about the one person I can help today.
Yes. And then you might not even know you're helping, depending on what they're
You
doing,
know what's
right?
so amazing? You don't.
Yeah.
And I will say,
Beautiful.
in this crazy world where, I'm not immune to like how many likes and is it growing and all the things. I can't tell you, I cannot tell you. I will go to an event and someone will pull me aside and say, Keri, I've been watching you for years. I don't know if you know this, but I was
Oh,
suicidal, or I was having a bad day, or like you helped me, da da da. That wasn't a post on my social media. That wasn't
yeah.
someone that reached out to me. I think that that's where really understanding that you are not in control of the metrics, you are not in control of the algorithms, you're only in control of yourself. And if you show up and do you and you're consistent at it, like, you will
Yeah.
absolutely create change in someone's life, you know? And
I
I think
love
it's
it.
just understanding whose life you are there for and not being for all people. I think that's a huge part of it too, Megan, is like, oh my God, am I going to reach millions of people or what will people think about me? I'm like, who cares? Who cares what other people think about
Yeah.
you? They're not your people.
Yeah.
So focus on the people that are.
I love that. I love it. And I really want to connect, any of the women that are listening and have them recognize that they have a lot in common with the people that you work with the people that we speak to,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yeah.
And so I want to pull back the curtain just a little bit and really give them the opportunity to recognize that we really do have so much in common. And you work with powerhouse women all the time. What is something that you think people would be surprised to know about the highlight reels of the lives of women in the spotlight?
They're going through it just like you. By the
Love it.
way, I work with powerhouse women, I work with startups. They all, it doesn't matter where you are, they will go through financial hardships. They will go through financial stress. They will go through relationship issues, team problems, questioning that imposter syndrome. When you look at the research from Michelle Obama to Jodie Foster to Tom Hanks, like Serena Williams. And what I talk about imposter syndrome is, it's like putting on a pair of heels before you know how to walk in them. We
Mm,
feel like an imposter because we're up leveling.
yes.
And so it feels out of alignment. Like our
Yeah.
embodiment, who we are, has not reached that level yet. So we feel
Right.
like Bambi in a new pair of shoes. I'm like, but you know what happens when you keep walking in them? You rock those effing shoes, right? And so
Absolutely.
it's like your subconscious and your conscious. It's like we have to almost recalibrate to this next level of who you are. And I had a very dear friend. She was my spiritual coach, and she said, Keri, you cannot evolve professionally, personally, and expect everything around you to stay the same. And I think
Mm,
that's what's important for people to know is that as you up level, you will lose friends.
yep.
You will decide that you don't want to hang around certain people. You might choose that your partner isn't the right partner. You might choose that you want to move to a different place. And that's okay. That's okay. You can't grow and everything around you stays small. And
That
so
is so
being
true.
okay in the letting go
Yes.
and the shedding, um,
Yes.
it's hard. It's hard, but we often say stay small, Megan, just to be in a friend group or a circle or a community that no longer fits us,
Yes.
you know?
And we can feel that,
Oh,
right? I
for
mean, you
sure.
know that it's not the right fit and it's not where you should be, but it's comfortable.
It's comfortable. And then
Comfortable.
and then it is the who am I? And I'm like, well, you
Yeah.
know what? You wear the shoes, you put them on, you walk in them, and you know that it's going to get more comfortable. Same thing with video. Like when you start showing up, it is so hard. I love
Yes.
I love Sarah Blakely. She's like, "Oh no, it's Brene Brown, excuse me." She was like, "You got to just embrace the suck." Right? When you start
Yes. Yes.
something, we suck at it.
Yep.
And it's okay. It's okay to suck. And you're not going to get great at anything if you're not willing to suck,
Yeah.
in the first place. And so um, I think that's a huge part of it is just knowing that it's okay. It's okay to not be great at something because every woman who is started with
Yep.
one follower, with $1, right? With
Yes.
one idea.
Yes. I love that. And you on this podcast, I really do like to feature women that are embodying that empowered and unstoppable. And I absolutely believe that you do. And what you've built and what you're doing and what you have ahead of you is incredible.
No, thanks.
And I'm sure that it all started and might have and was difficult, right? Like we talked about, we all start with one like
And there's
$1,
still
all the
lots of
things.
challenges.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't like, oh my God, one day you wake up and it's like, it's all easy. It's
here
like,
it is.
yeah.
I've arrived at easy. Here I am. No, never. Um, but if you could, looking back, if you had a Keri in your corner when you very first started,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
to becoming this very empowered and unstoppable woman, what advice do you think she would have given you then that could help those women that are right there? Like, what would you tell them if you were in their corner and you're like, you're going to be empowered and unstoppable? In fact, you are right now. What would that advice be?
Oh God, the very first thing that came to mind is um, the power in proximity. That was the very first thing that came to me because I could definitely tell you to, one of the things that I have had the pleasure of continuing to grow into is my money mindset and understanding money as my company continues to grow and where to invest. So I can talk money all day, but I think what's really important is to surround yourself with people that are doing the things that you want to be doing. Like, don't
Mhm.
wait for the invitation. Get in the room.
Yes.
Invest in yourself. Go to the event. Reach out. You know why I got rejected so many times? Because I reached out a million times and I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, can I speak at your event? Can I be on the news? I have no problem with no. And if I was to go back to that little Carrie, I would be like, the no's are just one yes away, right? Like
Yes.
every no is just getting you closer to the yes. And
Yes.
I waited way too long. I mean, I waited until I lost everything to really claim the gift that I knew was in me. And I would go back, I'm getting emotional. I would go back and tell her, it is meant for you.
Yes.
It's meant for you.
It is meant for you.
Yeah.
I love that. What's your mantra again?
What is meant for you will come for you.
What is meant for you will come for you. I
Yeah.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Okay, well, I have one more kind of fun question for you. But
Okay, good. Get me out of
before,
these tears.
I know, right? Well, but before that,
Mm,
is there anything that you feel we didn't talk about that you really think our listeners, excuse me, need to hear, need to understand? Like, is there anything else that you can just carry on us?
Carry on us. Well, I'm just going to end with it is never too late. It is
Love it.
never too late to claim your greatness, to
Yes.
press record, I had both my children in my 40s. I got remarried in my 40s. And again, that might be 50s for someone. I have a girlfriend who's 49 and pregnant. I'm just saying, like, it's never too late to write the book. It's never too
Yes.
late to step into the you that is waiting for you.
I love it. I love it. Well, it's funny that you say write the book. I'll tell you, Carrie, it's never too late to write that best-selling book.
I know. It's
Mhm.
actually it's funny. I got little chills. Like I think that's the next. I that's what I'm sitting on right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, fun question for you.
Okay.
And
All right.
then I would love for you to tell us much more about what you do and all the things.
Okay.
So, if you could give every empowered and unstoppable woman that's listening a magic post it note to stick on her mirror every morning, what would it say?
I have to go back to what is meant for you will come for you.
I love it. I thought you
That
might
is
bring that
it.
back
Like,
up.
and if you just wake up and be like, oh, that was a no, or that date sucked, or I didn't get the job, or it's like, what is meant for you will come for you.
I love it. I'm writing it on a post it. I'm putting it on my
Right?
mirror. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that mantra. Okay, well, can you spend just a few minutes talking about what do you do? How do you help people? What
What
is
do
it?
I do? What
What
do I
does
do?
Keri Murphy the Wonderful do?
Um, through inspired living.
Yes.
We pretty much just take your greatness to the next level. We get you from hidden to highly paid. We really get you doing what I say is your God work, your genius work in the world. It is my understanding and my knowledge after working with thousands now of female entrepreneurs over 13 years that many of us are stuck in our zone of competence. If you've read The Big Leap,
Yeah.
and I'm all about helping women step into their zone of genius. And for so
Okay.
many of us, that is sharing our story, it's sharing our gifts, it's sharing our message. And so our core I would say transformation that we do through my company is really help women embody themselves to understand how to be on camera. I mean, everyone's talking about, and I've been doing this before online and internet is what it is today. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
a dinosaur. Um, but like everyone's like this editing, AI, launch the course, go viral. I'm like, none of that matters if you do not know how to show up.
Yeah.
How to show up with confidence, clarity, conviction, and have a scalable sales model that gets you out of working so hard every day. And so that's what we
Yes.
do. That's what we do. We work with women in all sorts of sectors and practices. My next is going into small business and corporations and training teams. But that's what we do. And I love it so much. The realtor, the doctor, the coach, the healer, the med spa owner. Really, if you're a female founder that I can't find, this is what we do. We help you become
I love
foundable.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And so, what is the best way if they want more Keri in their life?
Yeah.
What is the very best way for them to find, get more, learn more? Where should they go?
I will tell you, there are so many ways to find me, but I think the best way would be to go to my Instagram, which is Inspired Living TV, and send me a message there. It is me on my social. Yes, I have some team helping me with editing, but other than that, it is me. I love to connect. I want to get to know you. Tell me you heard me on Megan's podcast. And then I'll also share a link with you. We do have a Be Studio Ready guide that
Ooh,
our clients love because it breaks down how to set up your home studio, what equipment do you need to get started. You do not need a big budget. You don't need a big audience. You just need a big heart. Honestly, like that's
I
it.
love that.
And we walk you through some tips, and I'll give you the link so you can post that in the show notes as well.
Perfect. Will do. And I will post all of your social links as well and your website as well for them.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Keri, this was absolutely incredible. And thank you for being so open and so generous and sharing your experiences and your wisdom with us. I truly hope that the women that are listening are just as inspired and excited to truly be here, not
Mhm.
there, and
That's
to
right.
step into exactly what was meant for them. So thank you
Oh,
so very much.
you're welcome. I really appreciate this time. I had a lot of fun too.
Always fun, always fun. And for you, my beautiful listeners, what is one takeaway right now that you're going to put into action this week? Because nothing's going to change if you don't take action.
Mhm.
So, is it maybe asking for help sooner? Is it maybe getting the support that you need? Is it maybe really changing the way that you speak to that lens and looking through it instead at the woman that needs to hear exactly what you're going to say? Is it really changing those no's and looking at a different perspective and recognizing they're getting you closer to that yes? Yet, yes. What is it? Right? Maybe it's that sticky note. Tell me one more time, Keri. What's that sticky note going to say?
What is meant for you will come for you.
I love it. Maybe it's that sticky note on your mirror. If you would love to share with us, you can take a screenshot of this episode. You can tag both Keri and myself and share your biggest takeaway. We would love so much to cheer you on. Just like Keri, it is me on my social media, and I will personally be responding to you, and so will she.
Mhm.
Remember, my friends, you do not have to choose between success and joy. You don't have to keep playing small. You are allowed to be both empowered and absolutely unstoppable. If you loved this conversation, please subscribe, leave a review so that we can reach even more amazing women who need this message. And join me next week for another conversation that will help you create the love for the life that you've built each and every single day. And until then, go out and be empowered and unstoppable, my friends. Have a great week. Thanks for tuning in to Empowered and Unstoppable. If today's episode spoke to you, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who needs a boost of empowerment. Are you ready to take your success to the next level? Visit www.meganbonnellcoaching.com. Remember, you're not just capable, you're unstoppable. See you next time.